In today's video, I will show you what's in my fridge. If you are new to this channel, hi, my name is Sylvia. Many years ago, I reversed autoimmunity with a carnivore diet, and I was so blown away that I ended up becoming a diet coach myself and started this channel. If you like this type of content, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get to my kitchen. Right, let's start with the top drawer of my freezer. So I have here some wild-caught salmon. Both of my boys eat them. My 18-month-old eats the entire fillet by himself, which is amazing. I have bratwurst from Butcher Box, chuck roast. I always have a good supply of bone broth, especially when I don't have time or I don't have access to good bones. What I'll do, I'll use these bone broths to put them in the meat stews and in the soups for my boys. When I make bone broths for drinking, I make them myself, and I usually use chicken feet because it is very hard here in New York City to get actual good cow bones for the bone broth. So this is what I use as a fallback. So I have plenty of steak tips, and I use them for the beef stews, beef soups, meat stocks that I make for myself and my boys. These are chicken livers from the farm. So I make them usually into pâtés, and then I sneak them into my boys' food. And there is some raw milk. What we'll do, we get a few gallons of raw milk, split them into 1 liter bottles and freeze them, and this will last us for about a month and a half. And my youngest is drinking it 3 times a day, morning, noon, and in the evening. And I also have some prepped meals. So this is a beef stew for my boys, and this is another portion of beef stew. And in the bottom drawer, there is a lot of hot dog sausages, also from Butcher Box, because my boys love sausages, all kind of shapes and sizes. So we get them from Butcher Box because it is really difficult to get a good quality hot dog sausage without fillers here in regular stores. Probably the next good option is Whole Foods. We also get lots of ground beef that we make into burger patties usually. And with the Butcher Box that we get free chicken wings. I think there's like 6 or 7 packages that come in the box. All right, let's go to my fridge. And this is a section for our eggs. There's more chicken wings that will be made this afternoon. There is some prepped meals for my boys. We have some ground beef here for later on with some beef sticks for snacking. There's a whole bunch of condiments here that my husband uses. At this stage, the only one that I use is Dijon mustard. I have some kefir to be strained, more bone broth, butter, lard, Wagyu beef tallow, sour cream, is ricotta cheese, and this is sourdough gluten-free bread from a farm that I bought just to see if my boys would like it. They actually quite like it. From time to time I give it to them. There are some supplements there, but they haven't been used in a while. And over here there is a yogurt culture. There's a started culture for fermented veggies and some more butter. And not that long ago, we bought additional deep freezer. It's actually quite small. So if you have a apartment in New York City, I recommend to get it. In a couple of months, this deep freezer pays off for itself because you can buy so much more meat that you will end up saving really quickly for this freezer. It's not too big. I will link the details in the description box of this video. So if you want to check it out, it's really worth it, not expensive, and it adds to your carnivore lifestyle so much. So let's get inside the fridge. Okay, let's take this out. All right, so over here I have about 12 packages of bacon. There are some more here. And with our subscription program from Butcher Box, the bacon comes free. So we pay $712 for our order, and it will last us a little over a month and a half. There are some more grass-fed tips in this tray. I like these a lot, especially for my children. These are sweet Italian ground pork sausages, so you can make so many different dishes with them. Or if you are really in a hurry and you want to have homemade food, you can just make them into meatballs or into cutlets and do them in the frying pan or even in the air fryer. Really good. And there are some more sausages because we all love them. This one is amazing. I typically don't eat cheese, but for this sausages, I make an exception. There are delicious sausages. And there are some steaks here, T-bone steaks. And these are some more steak tips. I cook them in so many different ways, mostly for my children. There are some more packages of wild-caught salmon. Each of these packages has 5 to 8 individual servings of salmon. There are also individually packed, so if you like to keep them separated and still frozen, you can do that. And these are salmon bites. They're already smoked. You can just heat them up. We haven't had them yet, but I'm looking forward to try them. And here we have all the steaks. Some of them are New York strip, some of them are ribeyes. There are so many of them. There are some shrimps. I don't eat them. My husband and my oldest son like them. And here I have St. Louis style ribs. Absolutely delicious and so easy to make if you do it in Instapot and then throw it for a few minutes into the air fryer. Amazing. You cannot not make it delicious. As you see, this little freezer can hold so many more steaks. Most of our steaks are ribeyes and New York strips, but we have some ranch steaks as well and some other cuts. But yeah, you can store a lot of meat in this little freezer. So this freezer sits underneath the kitchen counter, facing our living room. Maybe it isn't the sexiest place for a deep freezer, but for New York City apartment, it really doesn't take that much space and it allows us to buy a lot more food at discount. And really within a couple of months, this freezer will pay for itself. So if you have a small apartment, you can make it work with this small freezer and you will make a lot of savings, especially if you care to eat good quality meat. All right, and now you know what's in my fridge and what's in my freezer. I have to say that buying that deep freezer, even though it's an eyesore in our living room, it was a major enhancement because we are able to buy lots of meat in bulk at the discounted prices and store it for a long period of time. And so if you have just that single fridge with a freezer, you can't do that. We also buy lots of raw milk from the farm. So we buy a lot of it and it's being driven to us from Pennsylvania. So we prefer to buy more at one time and pay less for delivery and just have that milk for longer. At the moment, I'm 90% carnivore, and that's because until very recently, I was still breastfeeding and my body just couldn't tolerate being in ketosis and breastfeed at the same time. I don't know why, but I had to add carbohydrates. And when I did that, I felt a lot better. And now that this phase is over, I'm planning to go back to a paleo-ketogenic diet. I'll do it all over again. So I'll take you on this journey with me. And my husband eats about 80%, 70 to 80% animal nutrition. He eats dairy, okay, no problem. He can eat broken glass and be okay with it. My children eat according to the model of Western Price Foundation. So they eat lots of animal foods with fermented dairy, fermented vegetables, some root vegetables. All right, this will do it for this video. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.